I told you lately how handsome you are?
Handsome, unfortunately, it doesn't pay the rent.
We don't pay rent.
Oh, bloody good thing, too.
Yeah, will you stop being discouraged? 1 week of unemployment is not going to put a blot on your character, okay?
Yeah, well,
You do that.
it's not my character I'm worried about.
Jeffrey, they're idiots. If they are stupid enough not to hire you, you don't want to work for them anyway, right?
What a great way to start the day.
Oh, Who are you interviewing with today?
I'm not.
You're not? Where are you going then?
Well, I've got a late breakfast meeting. You know, one of those breakfast meeting things.
And I suppose I shouldn't ask with whom.
My mother. I said no. She said please. I said no. She said it's urgent, etc.
You know what she's trying to do, Jeffrey? She's going to wheedle her way into you so you come back to work for her again.
Well, she'll first have to meet my price, won't she? I know what I'm doing.
You know, it seems to me that the pool should be facing away from the country club. It's one thing to sit and stare at half-naked people when you're dining in the Riviera, but I think the architect should put the pool over where the garden is. Cece, I could use your help here. Can you hear me? We have a deadline. Cece!
I don't care, Pamela. I really don't care. I mean, what the hell do you know about building? What do you know about things that are meant to last? Move whatever you want, wherever you want it. You do it anyway. That's probably why I'm here in the first place. What? What? What?
Stop! What are you doing?
Well, I was boning up on my foreplay, darling.
Now, there's another sport you could use a little practice
Oh, be nice. We're about to become owners of a spanking new country club.
Since when? What for?
Well, it's going to be provided by C.C. and his first wife, darling. They're about to be crucified, and they don't even know it. As we speak, Madeline, the chambermaid from the San Marcos Inn, is on her way over.
Oh, so that's what this is all about. What makes you so sure she even knows anything?
She's been working there for 35 years. I think she'd know if Hal Clark and Pamela were having a mad affair.
Yeah, but we don't need to prove that they're having a mad affair. We need to prove that Cece and Pamela tried to bump Hal off, or whatever it is they did.
2 weeks ago, C.C. and Pamela went to the San Marcos Inn and asked for Madeline by name. Don't you find that a little bit suspicious? I mean, I wonder how much it'd be worth to the old gray walrus to keep this hushed up.
You take the country club, I'll take the house.
Right. Why, Scott!
Scott?
Hey, listen, this is my office. The men's room's down the hall.
You want to tell me what the hell you think you're doing, keeping my father locked up in jail?
It happened.
What happened?
I saw it. The place we're going to be married.
There wasn't even a bail hearing. I would have heard.
Wait, there was, wasn't there?
Instead, I had to hear from the chief of staff, who just so happened to be reading the newspaper.
Hey, don't look at me. Nobody broke Ben's fingers. He could have called you.
It says assault. Assault of whom?
A certain officer of the court, as well as a notorious lady who's well known in the community.
Who, you?
Well, he wasn't very nice to me.
No, Pamela Conrad. Listen, we can't let your dad go around throttling CC and his dragon lady.
Then why wasn't he formally charged? You can't just lock him in his cell and keep him there to rot.
Well, gee, professional courtesy. Come on. I thought I'd let him cool off.
I want to see him. Where is he?
Oh, well, I'll go get him. Maybe you can talk some sense. Or vice versa.
You happy now, Gina?
Hey, I'm not the one that put your father in prison.
Oh, no, you just egged him on with this fantasy of his about my Uncle Hal, right? And why not, huh, Gina? Any reason to harass the Capwells?
What are you so outraged about? Your father's been here for 2 days, and did you notice? No. You had to wait for the chief of staff to tell you about it. Well, that must have lost you a lot of respectability over at the hospital. And then you come over here acting like you're the perfect son. Well, who do you think you're kidding? The only reason you pay any attention to your father is you think he might embarrass you. Well, I know all about that. I understand why he's bitter and an angry man. A few years with you and anybody would be the same way.
You really hate me that much? Why? What have I done?
Pamela, please, give me a break. It's a little late in the game to be playing ingenue.
I mean it. If I do something you don't like, just tell me.
What
and
I
stop.
don't like is my family being destroyed. Is that all right with you?
Well, nobody is being destroyed. You and Sophia are apart, that's all. Was it my fault? She flew into this young man's arm. He's not fit to tie your shoes. Even if I disappeared off the face of the earth, Cece, you'd still have this problem to deal with. As far as I can see, that is my only crime. You and Sophia aren't together, and we are.
No, we're not. We're in the same room as all we are.
Well, you're living here, aren't you?
I slept here one night. God help me for that.
All right, if you want to blame someone, go ahead and blame me. All I've done is love you.
No, dear lady, what you've done is lead me around by the nose since you came back from wherever you were. And I knew what you wanted. And you pulled and you prodded and you needled and you whined and I laid it out for you like a silver platter.
What have you given me? Sex? You think I came all the way across the continent to lie next to someone in bed who says he finds me disgusting? You know, no one's ever led you anywhere, Cece, and you know it. I only put up with your revulsion and your foul temper because I know you need me. But I know you need to believe you don't.
Oh, you can really be so bloody noble when you want to be.
Believe me, if I had wanted to destroy your marriage and your family, I would have made a lot shorter work out of it.
How? By picking yourself one by one? Your late lamented daughter tried to do that.
No. By having Sophia thrown in jail for what she did to my oil rig. Yes, I know.
Really? How did you know?
Thompson came to me, desperately wanting money. So he tried to tell me, even though I refused to pay for it. Thought I'd let him off the hook. Be happy and content with just prosecuting Sophia. And he also said you knew about it, too.
Yes, but until weeks after it was over.
Well, still, that's an accessory after the fact.
What did you do, Pamela?
I gave him $100,000. Told him to keep his mouth shut and send him away to Brazil. Well, I wanted you to come to me out of your own will. Your own free will. And you did, even though you like to deny it.
Maybe you're not what I thought you were. Maybe I could be wrong about everything. Maybe I'm just too susceptible to the myth of me to believe I could turn to you willingly.
You're not a prisoner, you know. No one's keeping you here.
Well, then.
Jeffrey, darling, come in.
Morning.
Good morning.
When I got this morning, you were gone.
I know people who work late seem to sleep late, don't they?
Yeah. Can I join you for breakfast?
I never eat breakfast. It's a lie. I'm just not having it today.
Is it me?
You're a little overwhelming sometimes.
How?
It's nothing you do, don't change it.
Well, what do you want me to change? I mean, just name it.
Look, I hardly know you. We hardly know each other at all. And sometimes I feel that we don't have any perspective sometimes.
It's one of those mornings, huh? Who is this man and what the hell am I doing lying next to him? Well, I'm nobody. That's the first and only thing you have to know about me, okay? You're not gonna find a diamond in the rough. What you see is what you get. And that's fine by me. Because deep people have deep problems. For me, I don't have any. The only problem is how alone and for how long you want to be.
The morning will be sufficient, I think, thank you.
You missed the way it was.
But I know I can't go back there.
Well, someday you're gonna miss this. Getting to know each other, learning each other's ropes. I mean, before that first time I kissed you, everything you did, everything you said was from some kind of sign. It used to make me crazy. I couldn't figure it out. I'd lie awake nights trying to figure it out. And that's what it was like this morning when I woke up and you weren't there.
Sorry.
It's okay. You know where I'll be.
I mean, it was incredible. All these beautiful white buildings, so timeless and majestic. I don't know, there were hills and trees, and there was an ocean nearby. And there was this building.
A church?
I don't know. It was big. It had all these windows, but I don't know. If I saw it, I would be able to know that was it, but...
Well, that doesn't sound too tough. We'll just look for a big white building with windows.
It was beautiful. I mean, it was like a place that time hadn't touched.
Well, it sounds like it, but, you know, we do have a wedding to plan.
No, I know. And I don't mean any disrespect to your uncle, but maybe we should just pick a place. I have plenty of time to dream about it later.
Yeah, you know, psychics should never make suggestions to people like you because, I mean, what if he'd have told you you were going to meet some tall, dark stranger? You know, you'd probably be on the phone right now to Omar Sharif.
I prefer short, dark strangers.
What are you doing with me, pal?
You're short.
Don't start with that stuff.
Oh, excuse me. I'm
Oh.
sorry. I'll just go and see if...
No, we're decent, Mama. We're decent. Good morning.
Good morning.
Cruz, I really feel that I should look for a hotel. It's not right for me to be taking Eden's bedroom.
No, really, we wouldn't have it any other way. Look, why don't I get presentable, and I'll come out and I'll fix everybody breakfast.
No. There's no time for breakfast. We all have an early appointment, all three of us. Run along and get dressed.
Now, wait a second, Mama. People aren't supposed to make appointments for other people without their permission.
And spoil the surprise?
What surprise?
Well, I'm sure it is the most beautiful church in all of California. It's not the Mission, but it has that kind of a feeling that I know both families will be happy with.
Oh, Mama.
No, just one look. One look. And I'm sure Eden wants to see it too, don't you, dear?
Well, I'd love to. Excuse me.
And, where do you sleep?
Oh, I sleep on the roof, of course.
I never thought that a son of mine would put me in this position. Here I am, pretending, for poor Eden's sake, to be as blind as the stones on that beach.
Now, Mama, you don't have to pretend for Eden's sake, because Eden already knows that I didn't sleep on the roof.
You think your father and I weren't in love? But we waited until we were married.
Well, you were 17. You didn't have to wait very long. And besides, we already should be married. In a sense, we are. We married ourselves once a long time ago.
Oh, I see. Very nice state you have here. Self-service gas, self-service banks, self-service everything.
No, my husband doesn't know I'm calling, and I'd really prefer that he didn't. Miss Coslow, I'm not asking you to reconsider. You were the third firm that turned Jeffrey down, and I figured since you know my father, I could call and ask you why. No one has given him a reason yet. Is there a problem with his citizenship, or... I see. Well, if it's references, I mean, it would be helpful to know which one, you know, just to make him aware. I know this thing is confidential and all, but I mean, if we gave some names out in one of his special recommendation, we... But that... Are you sure?
I hate seeing you feeling so discouraged, darling.
Yeah, well, rejection seldom makes one feel chipper, does it? But biscuits are good, very good biscuits you got here.
Thank you, darling. You know,
Thank you.
job or not, you're never going to have to want for money. And I know, I mean, you don't want to take any of mine, but, you know, with Kelly's trust fund, you two are going to be able to continue on indefinitely. Was that... Oh, I guess not. I thought I heard someone in the driveway.
What, are you expecting CC back?
Well, as a matter of fact, he's moving in.
Really? Well, you know, it doesn't look like it.
Well, he's staying here now. And anyway, darling, there is something I wanted to propose to you.
I thought you might.
I would just want you to know that the job offer for managing the country club is still open. I realize it's not your first choice, dear, and you could continue to look while you're there. Also pay you double salary.
Salary is not the only consideration.
Yes, I know. You and Kelly want your independence.
It's true. But even independence has its price.
Darling, you name it.
Well, I'll come back and work for you if you throw CC out and send him home to Sophia.
What you come down here for? Stick your nose into this thing for anyway?
You're my father. What am I supposed to do? Let them throw away the key?
Hey, the charges against me are in heavy duty. They'll let me go when they're ready.
There's such a thing as due process, Dad. Why didn't you call me at least?
What for? So you can come down here and lecture me like I was 13 years old? I already know what you're gonna say. I shut my mouth off and I'm getting what I deserved.
You don't know what I think.
Hey, kid, what am I, deaf? You've been telling me all along, shut up about how. Let this thing alone.
Well, obviously I was wrong, wasn't I? Look, the reason you got in trouble is because Timmons wants to run this investigation. Which is nothing to be optimistic about, but it must mean that there's something to investigate.
The reason I'm in trouble is because I found out that Pamela Conrad was having a fling with my brother while she was still married to C.C. Capwell. Yeah, that's right. She's been lying to me from day one. And there's a lot more to this whole mess that I don't know about. You can bet on that.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah. Ask your girlfriend, Gina. She knows. She told me. But between her and that so-called DA, I don't trust them to see this thing through. That's why I'm going to give it to somebody else. Now, you got any ideas?
Maybe.
So, what do you think?
Well, it's a beautiful church.
But
Nothing.
is it the church of your dreams, Eden?
No, and if you don't stop making fun of me, it's going to be the church of your last rites.
I'm not, I swear. I'm just a little curious.
Well, I had a dream, and I could see the place, and frankly, I don't know if we're ever going to find it, and I don't know if I want to get gray hairs trying to look for it.
Agreed. So is this a suitable second choice?
It's big enough.
Yeah, but to me, the question is, why would we want to get married by a priest we don't know in a place we've never set foot in before?
See, that's exactly what I've been thinking. I think we should talk to your...
Father Aguilar will be right here. He just had to get his calendar. But he was almost certain that we could schedule the wedding for the first or second week in June.
June?
Yes, the bands have to be posted, and Eden will have to sign up for religious instruction. Just a few weeks. Oh, but isn't this grand and handsome? Huh?
Yes, it's very big.
Listen, Mama...
Eden, tell me, dear, tell me what you think. I thought that at the end of every pew, we could have a bouquet of white and yellow spring flowers. June is still spring. Mm-hmm. Or roses, if you prefer. But we'll have to be sure that they complement your gown.
Yeah, the gown.
The only problem is that June isn't the month, and this isn't the place we're going to be married.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Well, nothing is wrong with it.
But what about what Eden thinks? She said she liked it, didn't you,
Well,
dear?
Eden doesn't want to hurt your feelings, and neither do I. But there are very few things in this life that a person gets to decide for him or herself, and this is one of the things that we're going to decide for ourselves.
Well, that's the most foolish idea I ever heard. How can two people plan a wedding who've never done it before? The bride and groom are supposed to stand on the sidelines and think happy thoughts. Marriage is exhausting enough without having to worry about whether there are toothpicks in the hors d'oeuvres.
All right, okay. Then we'll put you in charge of toothpicks.
Oh,
I knew you'd see it then. Thank you. Excuse us for just a second.
Mrs. Castillo, where is the happy couple?
In Never Never Land, Father.
No, I happen to know that Pamela Conrad asked you for by name at your place of employment.
Well, after 36 years, a lot of the guests at the inn know me, remember me. I can't remember all of them.
This picture was taken in 1958, back when Mrs. Conrad was Mrs. Capwell. She and this man, Hal Clark, used to meet at the San Marcos Inn.
If you don't mind my saying so, Sid, that was a very long time ago. Can I go back to work now? Nobody's paying me for this.
Yeah, hello. Is Judge Larson still in recess?
Judge?
Yeah.
What for? I'm not on trial.
Send her in. The operative word here is yet.
What is it, Mr. Timmons? I'm keeping an entire courtroom waiting.
Well, we have an uncooperative witness here, and I thought you might like to enlighten her as to the legal ramifications.
Well, that all depends. Are you lying or just clamming up?
I don't know anything.
I see. Both. Well, then you know what I'd have to do first off? I'd have to subpoena you. Have you ever seen a subpoena? Well, it's not very pretty. No, we take you kicking and screaming into the courtroom, and we put you up on the stand. And then if you're still foolish enough to refuse to testify, well, then we just send you off to jail, ipso facto, right to jail. Have you ever seen a jail cell? I have.
Her Honor inspects them occasionally.
Yes, and if that doesn't loosen your jaw, well, there's more. There's so much more. If you think I'm bad, you just wait till you meet the matron at the prison.
Your Honor, this man expects me to remember something after 30 years. I mean, isn't there a law that says that if a thing has been going on that long, it doesn't matter?
Oh, no. That law doesn't apply. No, what do you know about the law anyway? I mean, you're as guilty as the person you're trying to protect.
Well, can't I just use the Fifth Amendment?
No, the Fifth Amendment doesn't apply here.
Sorry, darling. None of the amendments will help.
30 years ago. 30 years ago? Now, wait a minute. This is not the hostile witness in the Hal Clark case.
None other, Your Honor.
How could you, how dare you? How dare you put your own good free will above those of the people of this country, of this state, of this whole community? Don't you know what the punishment is for perjury? Don't you know what it is?
You're right. Yes, I do remember.
You do?
Yeah,
what do you remember?
The courtroom is waiting for you, Your Honor.
Oh, no. Actually, I think this is much more important. I want to know what you remember about the night Hal Clark disappeared. Now, his big brother says it was the same night of that storm in '58. Were they there? Were they at the inn?
But they were there the night before. I remember because they had a terrible fight about something. I could hear their voices out in the hall. And it all began when Mrs. Capwell said that she was not going to have anything more to do with him.
All right, well, look, either you tell me what's going on or I'm going to go talk to Rita.
Oh, no, Rita. You know Rita. She's very ditzy. I'll talk to her later.
Wait a minute. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Wait a minute. When Rita said she was going off to Kansas or wherever, I wrote her a letter to persuade her to stay, that's all.
What's that got to do with me?
I didn't sign it.
Bro, so you mean she thinks I wrote it? Come on, what's got into you?
Well, nothing at all. I just took a liking to the little one, to Carrie, didn't you?
Is that what the note said?
Not in so many words, no.
What did the note say, Pearl?
No, thanks. Just a check. Great.
Do you think your mother's going to even speak to us after today?
Oh, yeah. By tomorrow, we'll be having the same conversation all over again. She's very resilient.
Well, I hated to see her packing her bags.
Baby, if she wants to go to a hotel, let her be.
Okay. You know your mother better than I do.
Yep, I'll tell you.
Unfortunately.
Hi, Scott.
Excuse me, Cruz. Look, do you think maybe we can get together sometime at your office? I need to talk to you about something. It's kind of urgent.
Well, would now be okay?
Yeah, well, I got to get going anyway. I'm going to drive, who to the hotel, make sure she gets a really nice room.
Okay, but don't start getting into it about the wedding. There's no winning. I'm winning.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, take
Have
care.
a seat, man.
This has to do with my father. Well, actually, it has to do with my uncle. But this can get a little touchy for you because it looks like it might involve C.C. Capwell. Now, if you don't want to hear any more, you just tell me and I'll understand.
No, I think I'd better.
You know you're the most important person in my life.
Okay, then prove it.
But that's not fair, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, what would you have done before you moved in here if I'd said, but I don't want Kelly living here?
I don't think you would have liked my answer.
Why are you so demeaning of my feelings for Cece? Do you think you love her any more than I love him?
You don't seem to know the distinction between what you want and what is yours for the taking. Okay, look, if you're so upset that I still haven't got a job yet, that is still within your power to change.
Jeffrey, I'm sorry. I know you think I'm selfish, but I've been given a second chance, and I will not turn it away.
Okay, I'm glad that your decision is on record. You seem to choose fantasy over family.
Jeffrey, darling, that's him. Please, let's not discuss this in front of him.
Yeah.
Am I too late? Have you said yes?
Negotiations seem to have broken down.
Oh, well, that must come as a disappointment to you, huh, Pamela?
Well, tomorrow is another day. Perhaps Jeffrey will change his mind yet.
You mean perhaps Jeffrey will have no choice?
Baby, this really is between my mother
No, Jeffrey. This is between your mother and people who you wanted to work for. Do you know why you weren't hired? I did a little asking around.
What, you went and spoke to the people that I interviewed with?
Yes, I did, and it was because of the recommendations from Pamela, thank you very much, about how unreliable you were, how you never showed up on work, and you had no reason for that, and how you let your personal life interfere with your work.
Is this true?
You think I would make this up?
Yes, they called me, and I always spoke in the most flattering possible terms about you.
I'll see you at home.
Jeffrey, she hates me. How could she say things like this?
I think I'm over my difficulty, at least for today. I'm really sorry. I don't know how you put up with me.
Problem is, you think too much.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
You know, I start doing that kind of stuff. I just turn up the radio.
No, you don't. You know, you shouldn't say that. I don't like the way you talk about yourself sometimes.
Hey, better me than somebody else saying it.
No one else would say anything like that. Not when I'm around.
Look, when can I see you?
I have to. I'll call you back. Bye.
Should I have knocked?
Should you have at your house?
Yes. Yes, it's something we're going to have to discuss, I guess, one of these days.
I guess so. Did you need something?
Well, everything I own is here. I thought I might, if you didn't mind, drop by every once in a while to pick things up, collect things.
No, of course not. Take anything you need.
Good. I'm glad we can be civil.
I think it's very important that we be, particularly now with Ethan's wedding. I don't want anything to spoil it.
No, of course not. Not for the world.
And I also think it, well, I mean, this is entirely up to you. But maybe you could help with the planning. You're closer to Cruz than I am. As a matter of fact, you're closer to Eden.
I don't know about that.
I'm stating a fact. I'm not competing.
I'm not either. I'm not. Eden's an odd case. The others are afraid of me to varying degrees, and they not use you, they want you as a confidant. Eden is totally the other way around.
Eden's afraid of me?
No, Sophia, she's not afraid of you. She's afraid of losing you again.
That would never happen.
You make sure she knows that, won't you? I mean, she's got a very long memory. I guess she inherits that from me. Anyway, I think she remembers everything that we told her when she was 2. At least she says she does.
It surprises me would have said anything memorable that long ago.
I'm not.
No, I guess not. No, you're probably right, because you refused to talk baby talk to her. You said it would arrest her development.
I never said that.
Yes, you certainly did. I'll tell you something else you did. You read these awful, scary ghost stories to her, and she'd fall asleep and drool into her pillow. It'd scare me to death.
Well, I certainly never liked that lambican stuff and chucking a baby under the chin. I mean, Pamela used to gurgle over Mason all the time, and look what happened to him.
Did she really?
I'll only be a minute.
I don't think I'll be here when you're finished. I have to go out.
Very well. Goodbye.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, yeah.
Well, that was a pretty hard sell myself.
I just don't see the connection to Mr. C. I mean, his wife has an affair, the guy disappears. How does that implicate him?
I don't know. I don't know how my father got that in his head, but Timmons, it seems to be his main thrust.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me.
Now, he told my father to stay out of this, and obviously he means what he's saying. But my father's not going to stay out of anything until he knows that there's somebody there as a watchdog for him, finding out what's going on. So, I came to you. Will you take the case?
Well, I think first I have to convince myself there's a case to take, Scott. And it sounds like the only one who knows for sure is our illustrious district attorney.
Anybody home?
Hey, yeah, come on in. What do you think?
What is it?
You hate it?
A handkerchief?
I'm gonna march down the aisle in a handkerchief.
Oh, for your gown. Oh, let me see. What? It's beautiful. What's wrong with it?
You're lying. You had lunch?
I'm not hungry. No.
Yeah, neither am I.
Well, look at you, making all these decisions.
Yeah. Which one do you like?
Oh, they're all nice. I don't know.
Kelly, that's not what I asked you.
Well, you're gonna make up your own mind anyway, no matter what I say.
You know, actually, I don't think this has anything to do with my mind. Actually, I think it's all your fault.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Maybe I'll come back later.
No, you won't. Did you think about me when you had your own wedding? No. You had to be the most beautiful bride in the world, and you didn't even think about your big sister.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, I'm glad I went first, because with all this planning, no one is going to top this one.
I don't know. You know, I hate it when I get like this. I really do. I always told myself there were a million other things I always thought were more important than marriage, and what was the big deal?
Like what?
Skydiving, running Daddy's business, moving to Paris. I mean, I did all these things. I don't do all those things anymore.
Well, no one's stopping you. You can still do that.
Yeah, I just feel like a shadow of myself sometimes.
I know how you feel.
Does marriage really change you?
Yes.
How?
I think you just become dependent on it, you know? And it seems like everything you do has to do with him. And then at some point you realize there's no difference between what you'll put up with and what you won't put up with. Because you know you're not going to do without him anyway, you know?
Doesn't sound very good.
Well, I just think you want to be your own person and you wind up being his.
Well, this is what I want. And I love Chris more than anything in the world, so I guess skydiving's just gonna have to wait. What's wrong with you?
I know what I ought to do. I ought to just let he and Pamela drive each other insane and stay out of it. Why can't I stay out of it?
The woman won't let anybody stay out of anything. Haven't you noticed? And what did she pull on you?
No, it's not even worth getting into.
Yes, it is. Why don't you talk to me about it?
She did something she wasn't supposed to. And then I found out by doing something I wasn't supposed to, and then she lied about it, and I didn't, and then Jeffrey got angry at me instead and believed her. Now, if it sounds stupid, it's because it is.
I'll tell you one thing.
What?
He's not going to stay with her.
How do you know, Eden?
Because he's too smart, and I'm too smart.
Don't you dare get into this.
No, I'm not going to do anything yet. But she has broken up one marriage, and I'm not going to stand by and watch her break up another one.
Will you just drop it, okay? Oh, this is the last thing No, I'm going to leave you alone until the wedding's over. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because, look at this. You are the before, I'm the after. Who needs it?
Does that mean you're not going to be my matron of honor?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, Eden, you know I would love to be. It's just sort of like asking the Grinch to play Santa Claus.
Kelly, snap out of it. It's okay to be mad and to quarrel, even to think about impending doom. But Jeffrey adores you. He is not going to let anything come in the way of your marriage.
I don't know how much longer I can take this, Eden.
Well, then you're going to find out, aren't you? I know you're upset. I know you're miserable. But you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine, and you're going to be at the wedding, And I know I'm going to make the bridesmaids' dresses extra ugly. Just to be safe.
I love you.
Well, hello, darling. I thought you'd be out sizing boutonnieres.
You know,
What?
that is the ugliest tie I've ever seen, or that I've seen since the last time I saw you.
You like it? So it has your family crest on it here.
Oh, I thought it was something that fell out of your mouth. I've just been to see Ben Clark.
Who's he? Oh, him.
Yeah, him. What's the story anyway?
Well, you see, his brother disappeared, and we're looking into it. His jail cell is vacant. Would you like to visit it?
I stopped by the precinct, too, and I didn't see an open case file.
Gee, no. Well, you see, you're a civilian, and they're sort of confidential. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's right. How stupid of me. But I mean, what is your interest here anyway, or should I take a guess?
Well, what's yours?
Well, I've been approached by the family to do a sort of parallel private look-see. Parallel.
Been reading again? You know something, you get that close to the fire, you might find that your feet get scorched.
And how is that?
Well, because I find the trails leading me in a very, how shall I put this, familiar trail in of its own, you know? I think that, it wouldn't be good to embark on your life as a son-in-law by walling up the great Daddy Longarms.
And what leads your small mind down the same well-beaten path, I wonder?
Well, I think sort of roughly an even amount of circumstance and inclination.
So do I. But the only thing I still don't get is, what is your connection? Keith, what made you glimpse the dim possibilities in this 30-year-old dog of a case?
Well, I don't need possibilities, Bruce. I don't need connection. Not now!
Never mind. Don't mind me. I got what I came for.
Cruz, by the way, for some reason, we haven't received our invitation to the wedding yet.
Gee, one more mystery to look into.
See you around.
You bet.
What was that all about?
About 30 seconds where I would have been grateful to have been somewhere that was impregnable to invasions by people like you!
What did I do?
Well, can I help you?
I'm looking for my mother.
What for?
Excuse me?
What for? What do you want it for?
Well, not her checkbook, but I imagine you're taking care of that for her, right?
Oh, that's cute. Busy little bee today, huh?
Oh, what would you know about being busy?
Hey, listen. What have you been saying to her?
What? Oh, did she find out about your history of hotel rooms and hot tubs?
Somebody or something's been getting her, and you know what? I think it's you.
Listen to me, TJ. If I'm gonna burst her bubble, you're gonna know about it. Because I don't have anything to lie about. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, well, who the hell would want it?
Ooh, well, aren't you on top of things? You got my mother fooled and you think you're on your way to Easy Street? Well, guess again. Because you're not the one pulling the strings here, my friend.
Oh, yeah? Who's pulling them? Oh. Poor little rich girl, huh? What's the matter? Maids quit? Well, don't give me all your woes, because I don't want them. Nobody tells me anything, all right?
All right, well, you keep thinking that. Because someday you're going to discover that you are just a minor incident in this very long story. And it's going to go on and on until you're just a memory of this secondhand meat.
Hey, easy. Who the hell do you think you are, huh? When I talk about meat, you got primate written all over you, babe. Where do you get off talking like that? Just who the hell do you think you are?
She's my daughter, so you take your hands off her.
Your Honor, why did you have him bring me back here? I told you everything.
Now, it's just not quite as simple as that, is it, Mr.
Actually,
Timmons?
yes, it is.
Well, fine, then why don't we just write out a writ of habeas corpus or whatever it is?
Oh, no, please.
Why don't you take a load off, Your Honor?
Look, you said you just wanted to ask me...
Ask some questions? Yes, actually, that's the truth. Thank you very much, Madeline. You've been a great help. That'll do it. Hey, sit down.
What is she doing here?
Well, I was just talking to a friend of yours.
Who?
Oh, now, come on. That's sort of rude, isn't it? She remembers you very well. Actually, there's only one thing I can't clear up, which is why you're here.
Well, what could that be?
What did you and CC do with the body?
What is wrong with you?
I'm counting sheep.
Looks like you sheared a few of them.
I'm hoping my entire future will come to me in a dream.
Here I am.
I mean what I'm wearing. I've decided I'm going to spend every waking moment trying to sleep.
Well, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, you're just going to get yourself a cook and a maid and a chauffeur and a mistress.
Mistress? Well, if you insist.
And you can just put flowers in my hand and shake me right before the honeymoon.
Oh, no, that would make all the guests think you're dead, and they'd turn around and take their toasters home.
The
Dead
toasters?
people can't get married in this state, baby.
I know a few.
Are you going crazy on me now, or what?
I think I'm just getting too bored with all the enthusiasm. I mean, I can't handle the suspense. So what did Scott Clark want?
Oh, he just wanted to talk.
Oh, no.
What?
You've got that something's in the wind kind of tone in your voice, like you're gonna fly out to Tahiti and get shot at and have assassins.
No,
and...
no. It's worse than that.
You gonna tell me?
Timmons is going after your father.
Nice to know he hasn't lost his timing. What now?
Well, it's going to take some looking into.
Wait a second. Now, how do you know? And what does Scott Clark have to do with my father?
Well, Scott's uncle, a guy named Hal Clark, he disappeared some 30 years ago.
Well, who is he and what's it have to do with now?
I don't know who he is, but Timmons seems to think he can pin the disappearance on your father and Pamela Conrad, and so does Scott's father.
Now, I don't know if I really understand this, and I don't know if I want to, but I hope you just told Scott thank you for the warning and told him to stay out of it.
Well, he didn't want to warn anybody. He wanted to hire somebody to help him check it out and put it to rest.
Cruz, you're not the only detective in town.
I'm the only one he knows.
Well, introduce him to someone else. You didn't already take the case, did you?
Let me get that.
Cruz, I think we should talk about this.
Hello, you two. Loaded this evening?